It's All Things Considered from Minnesota Public Radio News. I'm Tom Cran. Minnesota's senior Republican U.S. representative will get a top post in the next Congress. John Kline, who represents the 2nd District, will become the next chair of the House Education and Labor Committee. He has been serving as the committee's ranking minority member. And Congressman Kline joins us now on the phone from Washington. Congratulations first, Congressman. Good to speak with you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Tom. I appreciate that. It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Now that you're the chair of the Education and Labor Committee, what is, as far as you're concerned, the most important issue on your agenda for this next Congress?
Well, I think the most important agenda for my committee and all committees in the next Congress is the economy and jobs. And we will be stepping up in my committee and the other committees to address those issues, to bring certainty to employers and employees so that we can start the private sector hiring again and get the economy going and get Americans back to work.
Give us an idea of what your committee can do in that regard in creating jobs.
Well, one of the first things we have to do is look at uncertainty. And there's a great deal of uncertainty out there with the health care law, so we'll be addressing that. There is some uncertainty out there about union organizing. There was this whole card check effort. We will put that to rest. The point is that we want to do things that will give the private sector, the employers, the confidence to step out and start making decisions that will allow them to start hiring people.
Now, in your acceptance of the chairmanship, you said in a statement you want to create a smaller, more accountable federal government. And we hear that a lot. But give us an idea of what specific programs, what specifics, where would you cut?
Yeah. If you take a look, let's look at the education area, for example. We identified in the 111th Congress, the Congress that's now in the lame duck session, over 60 education programs that have been judged by outside observers and by people in government and by Democrats as well as Republicans that are simply not performing. They're redundant, duplicative. They're failing to do the job.
Such as, give us an example of a couple of those.
Well, you have something like a multiple literacy program that is simply not doing the job that it's supposed to be doing, and we ought to go at that. As I said, there are some 60 of these. I don't have the list here in front of me, but some of those already have a bipartisan recognition that they're just not effective. The Even Start program, Even Start doesn't necessarily equal literacy. So there are programs in there where I think we can get agreement, we can move out, and we can eliminate those programs, reprioritizing where we spend money.
Let's talk about the president's compromise plan with leaders of your party to extend unemployment benefits for more than a year, as well as extend the Bush-era tax cuts for all Americans for another 2 years. What do you think of the compromise?
Well, I think it's very, very important that we give as much certainty to the economy as we can, to employers and employees alike. And extending all of the current tax rates, the marginal rates, for 2 years is helpful. I think it would have been much more helpful if it would have been permanent or if it would have been extended further. As you point out, though, it's a compromise. It doesn't have everything I want. The extension of the unemployment benefits so that you can go up to 99 weeks, not in Minnesota, by the way, but in many states you can go to 99 weeks, and extending that ability for the next year, not adding an additional year on top of the 99 weeks. There's some confusion out there. This just allows current law to be extended for 13 months. There's almost $60 billion in cost, and it's not paid for. There are no other reductions. So I'm not happy about that, but I intend to vote for this package as it sits before us now.
That's Republican U.S. Representative John Kline. He represents Minnesota's 2nd Congressional District, and he will be the new chair of the House Education and Labor Committee. Thank you very much, Congressman Kline, for your views today.
My pleasure.